So this video will require me to roll up my sleeves because today, ladies and gentlemen, we are talking about your boots. And I've gotten a lot of comments about the black boots. Mine are in a bag. So, before I talk about the boots too much, I will say that they are Rocky brand, they don't have a zipper, and I don't shine them. Now, the reason why I don't shine them is because that's what CAP Regulation 39-1 says. You just have to have them clean. They don't need to be shined. I used to shine my boots, but that was way back when we were still wearing BDUs. So, you can shine your boots. There's nothing wrong with shining your boots, and if that's something that you want to do, you can. But the material that my boots are made out of, they don't really shine. In fact, I did try at one point to try to shine them, and it just looked weird. The material wouldn't take the polish. I was like, what the heck, boots? And so I will show you today how I clean my boots. I won't show you how to shine them. I already have made a video on how to shine your dress shoes, your low quarters. And if you want to take those same techniques and your shoes are the correct material that can actually be shined, like they're leather boots, genuine leather boots, then they should be able to be shined. But mine, the material they're made out of, they don't shine. So all I can really do is clean them and keep them as best looking as I can. So right now you can kind of see there is some dirt along the side here, and I've used them for a couple of years to the point where this is ripping a little bit, and I should probably fix that. I'll sew that. But I've had these boots for a number of years, and I've been pretty happy with them. And if you're not sure how to blouse your pants when you are wearing boots, then I also made a video on that, so you can check that out. But today I'm just talking about boot maintenance and cleaning them after you've worn them. So one note that I will make is that boots are laced differently. These are little eyelets, and the reason why I actually got this pair of boots is because my old pair of boots, the eyelets were coming out of the socket. So it was like being pulled out of the material, and I had to use pliers to really like kind of put it back in place. And it was a difficult process to go through. So if you are trying to like hardcore clean your shoes, one thing that you can do is you can completely unlace the shoe and then like clean it underneath the tongue and like in here, right where my hand is right now. You can do that. I personally don't prefer it. One note that I will make before going into the cleaning is that you can do whatever you need to keep your shoes clean. This is just me going through my process, and you might do it differently. And if you do it differently, go ahead, share your little notes in the comments down below. I'd love to read how you might clean your boots in a different process than I do. But to get us kicked off, I'm going to go over the materials that I have with me today. So one of them is a paper towel. This one is a toothbrush that it's like an old toothbrush, and I even have shoe cleaning written on it so that someone doesn't accidentally use it as a toothbrush, because that would be absolutely disgusting. Don't use toothbrushes that go on shoes. Don't do that. And this is an old toothbrush, so like I'm not brokenhearted over it being used to clean shoes, and it's very useful in that way. I also have a little bit of hand soap, and I'm going to be using the hand soap to kind of get out some more of the grime, and I also have a little bit of water in this cup. If there are fabric parts to your shoe, you could use some kind of detergent or cleaner if it's really, really gross. I don't think I'm going to need that today, but I'm going to show you the before of what my shoes look like now. So we've got some dirt along the side here, and we've also got a little bit of dirt on this side. It looks like the fabric really isn't dirty. Like there is some dust right here along the toe, which I will get to, but overall, the shoe's not that dirty. The bottom is dirty. Oh, last part, I have newspaper on my work surface so that if it does like start being all dirty and gross, then it doesn't get my desk to be all gross from the shoe. So what I'm gonna do is I'm going to dip my toothbrush in the water, and so it's dripping. Okay, and I'm just going to lightly rub the edge of my shoe right here to get it just initially wet. And so I'm gonna dip that back in my water again and do that again. And I'm actually going to do a pump of soap on the toothbrush and do it where it was wet. So it really likes to get soapy. Nice soapy and sudsy. And as you see here, we got a few bubbles. The point is to get the shoe wet before so that it makes a couple of bubbles. And I'm really going to scrub the shoe. Now I'm starting to see some of the dirt come off. I'm going to rinse off my toothbrush in the water and just continue to scrub. Depending on what the material of your shoes is made, you may not be able to use this process. Please know what material your shoes are made out of before you start cleaning them. Some of them, they're not good with water. Like leather is not good with water. And you would want to use like paper towels and just like wipe and make sure that you're not soaking the material. These boots don't care. They're made for dealing with outdoor conditions and just living it up. So you can see the bubbles are being formed. And the water that I've got here is starting to turn gray, which is quite delightful. I don't know if you'd be able to see that, but it's turning gray, and that's because we've got quite a bit of, dirty water on our hands here. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to dip my paper towel in the water. I might need to go get fresh water in just a moment, but I'm going to try to get this wet. And it probably has a little soap on it too, but I'm going to wipe the side of my shoe so that we get rid of some of that soap and some of the dirt and put it onto the paper towel. So I've wiped just a little bit here, and you can see that my paper towel, you may not be able to see it, my paper towel is starting to turn gray because it's picking up all the dirt. All the dirt. Okay? And I've gotten most of the soap off. I haven't gotten all of it off. Not a big deal. I'm gonna need to like rinse it off basically with that toothbrush or by using a paper towel and just kind of drying it off. Don't just run your boot underwater. That's just my tip. You can if you want to, but a lot of shoes, like this fabric portion of my shoe takes a long time to dry. So if you know you're going to use your shoe soon, don't soak your shoe, because that would just not be a fun time. And you would be using wet shoes. We don't want that. So I'm going to pick up my one shoe and show this is the clean shoe and this is the dirty shoe. So you can sort of see that this one is a lot cleaner than this one is, or at least it's a bit better. My shoes are a little bit older, so like they've been well worn. You can see that here. But that's just a quick view here of sort of the before and after. They weren't really that dirty. Like, if you take care of your shoes, they really shouldn't be disgustingly dirty, like sopping and covered in mud. But if you do go out, like, on an emergency services mission or some other event where your shoes just get really dirty, just clean them, and it's pretty straightforward. So I'm actually going to continue to clean this other shoe that I've been working on, and we'll continue on with the front side of the shoe. Actually, I might go get some clean water. One second, I'm gonna get clean water. Hot tip for the water: I'm not filling this cup all the way. I'm only filling the bottom of it because I don't need all that water. I really don't. I'm just using the water to get the surface wet, and I'm getting under the shoelace a little bit right here because that's where some dirt might be collecting. And the biggest dirty part of the shoe is the inside right here, so I'm gonna be getting in there with my toothbrush, scrubbing along the side. I would never recommend using a toothbrush on low quarters that you're shining, unless like you're planning on stripping it of the polish and then repolishing it. It's not really worth doing. And I guess this is a little bit of toothbrush ASMR. You like it? I don't know. I will not know until after this video is posted. But I use a toothbrush for this process because it does get into the little grooves. It's a lot easier. Sometimes you can buy a shoe cleaning kit and you can use that. This is cheaper because it's the same kind of brush. Ooh, dirty boot. It's not that dirty, but it is dirty enough to change the color of the water. So I'm just going crazy with my boot. And the water is not the cleanest. And I'm gonna wipe a little bit right here. It looks like the glue of my shoe is showing, so it looks like it's dirtier than it actually is. It's probably because I've had the shoes for a long time. It happens. I might need new boots in the next year or two. I don't know yet. It depends. I've just had these for a while. So let's see here. Almost done, I think. I need to get back under that part of the toe that I had wiped earlier with the toothbrush. I'm just wiping it clean. You could also just do it with paper towels if you really want, but I like being able to get into those little crevices that are harder to get with this. So there we go. So just generally, that is how I have cleaned my boot. Again, Regulation 39-1 does not say you are required to clean your boots when you're wearing it for AB use, for your utility uniform, per se. But if you're wearing a dress uniform and you are wearing boots with it, like dress boots, those boots do need to be shined. So I just want to make that very clear that I'm not saying never shine boots. I'm saying if you're wearing a utility uniform, check through 39-1. It should say that you just need them to be cleaned. And let's look here. So this is the one that's not clean. This, I think, has dust on it now. But if you look at the sides, this is the one that's dirty. Yay, it focused. And then this is the one that's clean. So you can kind of tell that they weren't really that dirty to begin with. But that is the process that I use for cleaning boots. And if you shine your boots, cool. You can do that. I'm not saying you are required to follow my guidance. Just some people were asking me, how do you shine boots? If you do want to shine your boots, follow the video that I made on shining your low quarters and just apply the same techniques of doing the tiny circles and using a little bit of water and using shoe polish in order to accomplish that. Some shoes just don't really shine. My boots, they don't. And so I was like, well, if they're not going to shine, and I'm not going to do that. So I don't. But it's totally up to you. Feel free to share what your comments are and your thoughts are down below in the comments. So thank you so much for watching, and that is all, folks. Until next time, toodles.